thing I'm gonna need for this are my side cutters, or diagonal pliers as they're other known in other parts of the world. Now let's get moving on taking the double piping off this beautiful 1840 Victorian sofa. Who knows the treasures we're gonna find in this? You know, you think about what was happening in 1840 and how old this piece of furniture survived all this time. And you know, there could be something inside this sofa from 1840, who knows? We're taking the double piping off first. I'll show you, just want to grab hold of it and pull it. Of course, if we find anything, and we have found things, we return them to the client. I mean, I found one time 2 Rolex watches and a beautiful gold coin. It was issued by the United Nations. I don't know how many ounces it was, but it was, all of them were valuable. And the client was very pleased, of course, that I returned them. But, you know, naturally we would return anything we find to the client. But part of the fun is the hunt, and that's what we're doing now in another segment of Treasures of Upholstery. You know, I like these shows that depict treasure hunters, like this Oak Island, things like that. These guys, I don't even know if they ever found anything there, but you know that we're gonna find something. We always find something, even if it's a gum wrapper, it can tell you a little bit about the history of the piece. Here we go. I'm just gonna have a hard time keeping up with me on this one. We're just doing the treasure part of this, which is gonna be going to the, as they say, the honey hole of the, I'm stealing that from other shows that I've seen. And the honey hole is down in here, and we have to strip the top a little bit in order to get it down, right? I'm gonna come over here. Now, what's on here now is a silk, and silk can be very tough actually to strip. We're gonna go back and clean this up after we remove this. This is hand stitched in here, which is kind of nice. Somebody whoever did this the last time was a real craftsperson. Really did a good job. All right, trying to get down here. It's like archaeological dig, isn't it? Okay, now we got a clear shot of taking this off the bottom, the outside back and the outside arms. Okay, good. That should do it for now. We'll go back and clean all these up. Now, carefully try to take this cotton off as careful as I can. Okay, and this fabric that you see now is pieces of fabric remnants in the upholsterer's shop, the last person who did it, and he or she is using this for support. And this is what I do. This is great. This is a good use of scrap fabric. It's called stretches, and it's used, you could tell this person was a real craftsperson and a real professional upholsterer, because he's concerned about this part where it curves, and that's why this is here. Manufacturers have gotten away from that. New manufacturers don't even know why you should support an outside like that, but you support it because if you don't, the first time somebody puts their knee into it, and we all move furniture with our knees, especially if you're moving it by yourself, which is not a good thing to do because you're putting your knee right in like this, but when you put your knee in like that here, it comes back. So if it were nothing there, the fabric would bend in or bow in. And worse, what the manufacturers do is cardboard. And once you hit cardboard once, it caves in. There's not even any point in putting the cardboard on, but fabric is very resilient. Okay, so now we have to undo the stretches. Yeah, I guess I'll start this way. And whoever did this really liked their staples, they say. Okay, but what I'm going to do, we're just interested in the treasures of upholstery here, so we're just going to undo the bottom here. We're getting into these pockets where people usually drop things. And of course, if our client is looking, this is, we're going to return everything to you. Don't worry. We're just having a little fun here. That's a good point, though. And, there's long hours that an upholsterer has to put in when they reach the point where they're a professional upholsterer. But as they're learning, too, in that journeyman part of their career, which is the longest part of any career, they're really having to work long hours. Sometimes it's kind of fun thinking about history of the piece, where it came from. We're going to be doing a piece, we're really excited. A couple of pieces coming up. One, we think is an original recliner, an original. And Napoleon III, he was on the commission the original recliner. And I'm looking at this recliner, and I tell you, there's a possibility that it's that old. I'm not saying it's Napoleon III, but you never know. I mean, things come to you that are pretty interesting. In my career, I actually upholstered Napoleon's chair. And maybe when we do that chair, we'll do a little information on that project. And then another piece that's up and coming is an original 1930 Art Deco theater chair. I'm kind of excited about. Actually, Patrick, you want to take a... And then what we're going to do is... We're almost there. Wow, they did a really fine job at putting this on. Really excited. This is equal to when Geraldo opened the safe, Al Capone safe, or when those guys at Oak Island finally got down 250 feet and they finally found one coin, maybe, I don't know. Or what else? When they opened up the pyramids. This is it. This is my moment of truth, at least in this section. And we got all these other pockets that we have to look at. Let's just look at this one first. This is it. This is it, folks. Drum roll. Let's see. Is there anything in there? No. Credit cards, probably. People using credit cards has stopped a lot of the change from falling out on all our pieces, but that's okay. And I've never found a credit card. I always found loose change in the old days. We found all kinds of loose change. We never found a credit card. I found most recently, folks, I should tell you, I was taking a chair apart and I found a beautiful brand new Apple smartphone, one of the new ones. And the client, when I returned it, she couldn't believe it. She said, "We've been looking for that thing for 9 months." And it was in her furniture. So if you lose anything at home, that's the first place you want to look. Okay, now I see something over here. Oh, that's a staple. Let's see. I don't know. I think we're gonna, let's see. This is the cleanest piece of furniture I've ever seen, actually. There's not even a crumb in this thing. That's okay. Nothing in there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, another 4 pockets to investigate. Let's see. So this, what we're stripping is the top, is the inside back now. This is the bottom part's the seat, but we did the inside arm over there. This is the inside back. We're loosening. So let's see what we got in here. And nothing. So this was a recent upholstery job, I can tell you. But done by a recent upholstery job within the last 20 years, I would say, and done by a real professional. You see these old pieces here that he's done? He goes back. This is to make the inside of the sofa look good. He just stuffed this in to make it look good. We could take it out because we're going to have to do the same thing. But probably, so this upholsterer I could tell he's an old timer because he used a lot of cotton. I do use cotton, but in certain areas, not in this area, I would use Dacron because Dacron doesn't ball up like cotton does. So, but you know, there's slight differences between master upholsterers. That's one of them maybe. Where to use what materials. I mean, other than the fabric. Okay, let's see what we got here. Yeah, we like to have fun, so this passes the time away as you're working very hard getting these staples out. And then, you know, you really do have to get in this state. You know, if you know you're going to be spending all afternoon taking staples out, I think you really need to gear up for that. I mean, you could easily get tired or off task. I think things like this really do keep you on task. You know, the anticipation of finding something. You know, when I returned that iPhone to that customer, she was so happy. I mean, they're expensive. You know, what are they, $1,000 or so? And probably the information or the photographs are worth more to her. So when you find an iPhone in a piece of furniture, you're really finding the history, aren't you? At least the client's history on that phone. I guess that was a very, very good find. Actually, when I delivered a couple of chairs to her after I was done with these chairs. I don't think I told her that I found the iPhone, but when I went back, she wasn't home, and I put the chairs in the house as she directed me to, and with my bill, I put the phone on my bill, and she called and said, "You found my phone?" I said, "Yeah." All right, nothing in there. Now we get them over here. I suppose to make things exciting, we could have stuck an old gold coin in here, but we're not going to do that. We try to be honest as we can in that way too. You know, if we find something great. I mean, our last project, that 1860 cowboy chair, those are the type of treasures I like, information on the chairs. You know, when the client came in to pick the chair up, we found out that the chair was from Kansas City. And I said, "Oh, your family was originally from Kansas City." She said, "How did you know that?" I said, "Well, because we found this burlap in here with the name on it." She was quite impressed. And we've heard back from that client who's watched all of the segments, all of the parts. I think there were 6 or 7 parts to that. And I still think it's ongoing, actually, as to the date of this video. So, look, one more pocket. This is where everything could come out like Vegas, fall on me like a slot machine. All the coins. No, I don't think so. That's it. I tell you though, silk, they use it in parachutes for a reason. It's lightweight and it is strong. And it is giving me a really hard time, so. All right, we got that done. Well, we didn't find anything this time in Treasures of Upholstery, but wait until the next segment.